Greetings, Masandawana. We're back once again. The Yellow Corner is back with yet another episode and another preview of a football match here, Mamelodi Sundowns. And this time, we bring you the preview of our home match as we take on AmaZulu on Sunday at Loftus at 3 p.m. And today, I'm joined by Secret Agent. Secret, how's it?
I'm good. How are you?
No, I'm good, man. I think we're getting to a point whereby we need to employ you more, the Yellow Corner, because if you're not on match previews, you're doing the roundup.
Yeah. I need my own slot, G, just to do my stuff.
No, you deserve it. You deserve it, man. Yeah, man. Game week 9, we take on AmaZulu, man. It's the last game of until the what do you call this, the international break. How important is it to win this game before we go on a 2-week break, international break, and then on top of that, there's a week's break before the Premier Soccer League? Because I think when we resume, we probably playing Pirates more MTN 8, if I'm not mistaken. So how important is it we win this league game before a international break?
For me, it's not even about considering the fact that we are going into the international break. Man. It's a matter of it would be nice for us to have 3 wins back to back. And it's a morale booster because we've had before these 2 wins, it was a bit of we win this game, we draw, we lose, we win. The consistency hasn't been there. So with Sundowns, once you get to 3 wins, you can easily get 5. Before you know it, in a 5-game block you have 15. Another 5-game block you have 12. Another 5-game block. It keeps going on and on. So for me, it's not about the before the international break. It's about getting this momentum going, getting these wins going. And it's unfortunate that we are winning and then we are going on a break. But I hate that thing. But as well, it's very important that we win. It's very important that we extend the lead at the top. Because the last 2 seasons, you could see the gap already at the top. So now it's 2 points or 1, I think. So it's important for us to get the ball rolling and very quickly so that because KEF is coming now. MTN 8 is coming now. And there will be break in November, December, that World Cup thing. So we need to get this ball rolling and very quick.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you, man. You've said everything that I would have said, because I think getting 3 consecutive wins it's important, because we build from 3, we go from 4, but you build momentum, and then you start opening gap. More so, the team that's chasing us, that being Pirates, is not playing this weekend. So we stretch the gap until the last game, and that puts more pressure on them, because it gets to a point whereby they just can't afford to drop points. We're playing AmaZulu. We're coming up against a few former players, but the most recent one would be Mido. Do you think Mido would go into this game wanting to prove a point?
It's tricky because you look at Mido, he's one player, he's so professional in his thing. Even when he was at Sundowns, you would never hear stories, sorry, Mido Kabaneli the coach, or Mido is doing this, Mido is not at training. If he's not training, that means he's injured. So he was so professional in his 2 years stint. He was quiet about Mido. Also, I doubt there's a point to prove. It was just unfortunate how his career panned out at Sundowns. When you hear Mangoba saying, when Mido is supposed to play, he gets an injury, and then it's a pattern, goes on and on. So I doubt he has a grudge or anything like that. It's just football. He knows he's been in this game for more than 14 years now as a professional. So he knows how it goes. It was just an unfortunate period. So I doubt he would want to prove a point. Nah, it's just football dynamics. It just happened, and he will just want to play and that is it. That's from my own perspective. He just wants to play and get his career back on the correct path, and that's how I feel about Mido currently.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. Mido is a proper professional. He's a seasoned pro. Mido, from Villa, you can tell they are proper professionals. And I can't remember where Neo said this. I can't remember whether it was on Masanda Fan blog or it was on the roundup. He mentioned one of the reasons Mido wanted to come to Sundowns was to test himself against the best. You can't say you one of the best or the best if you're not competing with the best. So I don't think he's bitter about leaving Sundowns. Yes, he wants to win because he wants to win for his team on Sunday, but I don't think there will be an element bitterness in him wanting to prove a point as well. And speaking of Mido leaving Sundowns to AmaZulu, what do you make of AmaZulu's model of buying players that have not had much success or that have been at the big three?
It takes me back. You remember when Zungu was saying to Kaizer Chiefs that he doesn't want their rejects, and he goes, he buys, he bought Uramar, he bought who's this winger? They bought a winger from Chiefs. He had trouble with Zuma. They bought Zuma. So I think reality hit them as much as running a football club is expensive. You can see most with the Cape Town team, they're selling us their top players because they know running a football team is expensive. So they have to. This is a model where some teams, unfortunately, they are forced to have these kind of players, and you see in a lot of teams it works for them because these are let's say some of them are big name players like Uramahwe. They can do the job for you. You can get top 4, top 6 with these players. So with the budget that AmaZulu is working with the team that AmaZulu has, a top 4 or top 6 finish would be a very big success for them actually. I know was it last season where they got second spot. It would be massive for them, but this model they cannot compete with the big guns like Sundowns. That is impossible. So there are models in which you need to survive as a team, and I believe they're going about it the right way. They were smart. They bought Bo Brooks and then they bought experience. So there's a bit of a balance there with regards to experience, young players. So I think it's okay. I think the only thing that Zuma must stop doing is burning bridges and telling teams that I don't want to reject, while you know your situation will force you to get these rejects, these so-called rejects. So yeah, but I feel it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
You mentioned you hinted where you think they would finish. I mean, they currently fifth as we speak. They have played 7 games. They've won 3, drew 2, lost 2. They've scored 8 goals, conceded 7. Goal difference, Yamonake 1. They are currently on 11 points, and their PPG is 1.57. Last game of the match of the season, where will AmaZulu be?
I think number 6, somewhere there, number 6, 7. If they did terribly, then it should be 8. Then 6, 7, somewhere there.
I think with the squad that they have, they should finish way higher than that. I think anything below 4 is maybe failure for them. But as good a squad as they have, Kolo on the roundup said a certain team, Ilala Mudimuntuse football. I think they are another team that plays Mudimuntuse football, to be honest. So maybe 6 suits them. Let's get into the game winner, a secret on Sunday. Having seen how AmaZulu have played since the beginning of the season, the squad that they have, what do you expect to see from them? Where can they hit Sundowns? Can they hit Sundowns? What are their weaknesses and strengths and so forth?
With AmaZulu, going back to what you said, they can grind. You look at all their wins. It's marginal victories: 3-2, 1-0, 2-1. That's it. They grind results, and it shows that on the day they can really hit. You know? They can go to a game and score 3 goals, but they will definitely concede. So that is where their problem is, at the back. And it's a cancer in the team because they have the players to go out there and score. But for me, what I've looked at, their midfield is not really that dominant. Although they tend to play with a three with Maluleka, Buchanan, and Macaulay. But they haven't been really convincing for me, to be honest. That midfield has been all over the place a lot of times, and it exposes their defense. Hence, you see their record in terms of they don't keep a lot of clean sheets. As compared to us, we have 5 clean sheets in 9 games. You can say a lot of things about Sundowns, but clean sheets, we can keep clean sheets. So it will be a game where their midfield would really need to come to the party because we really have a strong midfield as Sundowns. And so that has been their cancer. That I don't want to talk about the wing backs, because the full backs actually, because I've been saying from last season, this team needs full backs. This team needs it's terrible with full backs. They bought two fullbacks from Chiefs. Was it last season or two seasons ago? They've done the same thing this season. They bought Mabili, so they have. But Ramasho has been playing center back. But they have a cancer in terms of their fullbacks. It's not really convincing. So that has been the cancer. That is a big problem for us. The midfield, the fullbacks are not really convincing. Up front, they have the guns to hit you, and that is their strength now.
Yeah.
They have the pace. They can stretch your defense wide. When you go into the middle, Mahango is really good with the pockets. Is really good with off the shoulder of defenders. If you're gonna put Mahango with a, I don't know who I can say, but I don't want to put Brian Onyango on the spot, né? But it would be an interesting battle with him because off the shoulder, does he have the pace to deal with Mahango? So up front, they will really hurt you. And on the bench, they have Umeja. He can really put in a shift. It's quite unfortunate that Kwem, is it Kwem? He's suspended.
Yeah.
He got a red card, so it's a bit of an unfortunate incident for them. But they have enough. They have enough on the bench to help you, and that has been their strength this season. Because their marginal wins, they score. They score. Although they concede, they will score. So that is what we should be wary on. We should be very wary on
that. Yeah, Lena, the things that you mentioned is some of the things that I've picked up from AmaZulu. And one other thing that I've picked up from AmaZulu is that they lack creativity. There's no creativity in that team. If Madonna doesn't play, he's their most creative player. But in the first few games, Truta started him. But in recent times, he's started, in their last few games, he's gone back to benching him. And AmaZulu are probably the only team in the league that currently plays with 3 number 9s up top. In their last few games, that's how they've been playing. 3 number 9s in up top. So they rely mostly on the fullback stab for creativity. Creativity being crossing the ball and inshallah. What you said, Karia middle field, it's rigid, man. It's Havana that thing, that element, yeah, that ball splitting past that you can expect from someone like Mbule at Sundowns. Yes, I know Nto had a brilliant assist, Buchanan against Swallows from Hangu, if I'm not mistaken. But there's no creativity at all in that team. And then in the 7 goals that they've conceded, 5 they conceded the first half. And then you know what happens once they concede? They lose into tactical discipline. They are found all over the place because they're now chasing the game. Against Cheaper, the score is 1-0. It's still, you can still salvage result. They just open up. Benyani had a chance where he should have punished, where there was just Ramahlwe, who was, I think it was Kakani, who found himself, so they lose tactical and when they are trailing. Defensively, they are very poor. They are very, very poor. When Mubara is not around, they see nightmares. Gumete is poor. I've never rated Gumete. Skakani is poor. That's the right center back and the right back. So their right side is their weak side. And then I expect Makaula to stick Monto more Shika and to kick Shika to pieces. That's what I expect from Makaula, because that's what he does every time we play AmaZulu. So, and they won't break us from play more centrally, intricate passing or anything like that. Their best chance will come from a cross. So that's what I expect from AmaZulu. Going into Sundowns, how can we beat AmaZulu? I think the fact that they play with 3 nines, Jali will be very, very, very important in terms of how, excuse me, we set up off the ball, because Jali should never ever allow at any point for 3v2. If it's like that, the 3 Abona that plays, if Kwemon will definitely won't play. So maybe it's Gaba, it's Ntuli, and then Major. Those guys will score goals. They will punish you. They've got experience, and but they know how. So they will punish you. So Jali becomes important in this situation. And the 3, they don't track back. They don't necessarily help in defense. They just wait for the ball or the claim. So Jali is very, 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 very important in terms of him becoming the third center back at when the need arises to Wabo. I think Zwane is going to be the most crucial player in this game. And Zwane moves is the 10 that moves the 6. He needs to move Makaula from in front of Mubara Ligumete. And then once he moves Makaula, Nasir needs to take advantage of. I'm going for Nasir. I'm starting Nasir in this game. I think his flu should be sorted by now. I think Nasir in that zone 14 into, he'll be very, very crucial in terms of taking advantage of and capitalizing on the space that Shika would have made for him, because I think Mubara will concentrate, will be focused on Shalunet. So that's, I think once Mubara Shika moves Makaula, Nasir becomes very, very crucial. So another thing, I think us scoring early in this game, getting the first goal is very important, because like I said earlier, when I was speaking about their deficiencies, once they concede, they lose a tactical shape. And that's the one team that you can't afford to do that against is Mamelodi Sundowns, who will punish you if you're not tactically sound. Target their right-hand side. Like I said, their right-hand side is their weakest with Gumete and Skakani. Skakani is lazy. He bombs forward, tracking back to defend. He doesn't do it. So that's how I think we should win. We could win this game. Your thoughts on that?
I think if I doubt Tuta will come with the 9s again. I'm expecting a game where he needs to put that low block, because his defense has been, you open it up, you slice it. He needs that low block, and he will need the wingers who will be very disciplined in a sense where they will need to guard their fullbacks. So they will need to spread in that sense. So because if you will leave, let's say you have Modiba versus Kakan, the winner will be one there, and that will be Modiba. And you can't go 1v1 there. You will need to have your wingers backing up your fullbacks. So if he goes with 3 9s, it will serve him no purpose because he will not be having the ball on the day. He needs to pack that midfield, and if he goes with 3 9s, it will be a funeral because we will be faced with that midfield, we will be faced with that defense, and it will be a massacre. That is how I feel. So I would go back in this match. I would go back to Nomaema, Themba Zwane, and not Nasir. Nasir would start on the bench for me, and then Umaselo would start. Yabo. So because I'm expecting that low block, I need the tens to move them around a bit. And I wouldn't mind Mbule starting with Charlie, because he had a terrific performance. So it would be rewarding for Mbule to start. So yeah,
let me interject. Ne? You are already giving me going where I want you to go. So while you at it, just give me your starting lineup.
Okay. A goalkeeper Ronwen.
Okay.
Left back Modiba, right back.
Whoa. Sorry, we are going to interject. Funny enough, I was laughing at Ken's on the review game here when Modiba got red card or game our last game where he was talking about red card. How do they work? Lena, I'm as clueless as Ken's because I no longer know how the red card work, or whether if it's straight, how many games, if it's 2 yellows, how many games. So I'm not sure if Modiba will be back for this game.
Okay, so if Modiba is not back, I'm expecting Lake to start. I don't know what the coaches were thinking with Ngobeni midweek. Was it midweek?
No, it was Saturday.
Yeah. It was Saturday. It was a shock move for me, but any left back is fine. Like if Modiba, I hope he's up. But like left back for now, right back, I would go with. I'm throwing a grenade here. I need Morena to start because I need to exploit those fullbacks. Well, because like I said, they're not really solid. And Morena 1v1, he's that good. Center backs, I don't know if these people are available because we have a Kenside center back. So I don't know what is happening, but I will start with Umvala and Giroud. I don't know what the issue is with injuries, but yeah, Morena, Mvala, Giroud are like key. And then in the midfield, I will have Jali, I will have Mbuli, right? And then I will have my tens, Maema, Zwane, and Marcelo. Up front, I have Ushaluli. So that would be how I go about it with my lineup.
Okay, we have quite, okay, let me give you my lineup. My lineup is definitely, one is definitely Ronwen. I was going to go Kamu down, but when you raised point here, the point that you raised Tapelo, I actually think it makes sense. So I would change and have Tapelo as well. And then at right center back, I'll have Grant. I think Grant has been on the bench. I think at some point he's going to have to start. And I think maybe I'll start him in this game with Roshin as well as.
In there a bit. Would you risk Grant now, knowing that he can get this break, 3 weeks break before he can actually play again? Would you throw him in now? Is he that ready, or you just say, you know what, Vala for now, and then Grant, get your 3 weeks international, and then come back? What do you do?
It's a catch-22 situation. And I hear what you're saying because Val has been doing well, if we be honest, more or less center back. Yeah? But at the same time, I think at some point Grant has to get kilometers in his legs. He needs match fitness, And I think when the league comes back, there will be a lot of games, and I think I would want him to have. I know it's a 2-week break until our next game, but I would want him to have had game time more a match fitness going into Game Year Pirates, because I'm definitely starting Grant the Game Year Pirates. So yeah, man, I understand what you're saying, but I'm sticking to proper and then left back, I'll go for Lyle. Like I said, I do not know about the red card. And then my middle field, it will be Jali. And then I'll have Bafana by 2, Bameta, Mbule le Mokwena. And then my front three will be Zwani, Shalulile, as well as Nasir, even though I heard what you said, move the 10, having quite a lot of 10s and moving that rigid middle field. Score prediction?
You look at our last 4 games versus AmaZulu, we've won. Our last 4 games at home, we've won. We've won them. So I'm thinking 2-0. 2-0. If they don't come with that low, if they don't come with low block, it's 3-0. With low block, it's 2-0. Because we've been very decent. Who's scoring? Shalulile, Zwane, and I'm giving Marcelo another one.
Okay. I'm gonna go for 2-1. I think we will consider. I think their front three is way too strong not to get anything, but I think they will get one and late in the game. And I'm going for a Shalulile brace. And yeah, 2-1. Yeah, that's it, man. That's yet another installment of the Yellow Corner. You guys will see us. Oh, yeah, no, we're going for quite a long break. I don't know. Kadi 30 or September, and then the last day of this month when we preview the NetBank Cup, the MTN 8 semi-final. And guys, thank you for your continued support, man. But there's something that I do not understand, man. We are averaging 1,003 views per episode, man. Yet then we have 430 or 20 something subscribers. So I do not know what's going on there. Let's sort that out. Please continue to subscribe, like, and comment. And yeah, I've been really enjoying the comments with regards to our segment. That's 3 episode old, the roundup. Check it out, man. Chloe is proper kicking ass in there, So yeah, thank you guys for supporting her. Really loving the comments, and yeah, man, we'll try and continue to bring you, continue bringing you good content, And yeah, Secret, thank you for joining me, man. Hopefully, we'll see you soon again.
Always.
All right, sharp. Cheers, Masanda one.